Hey everybody, welcome back to Over a Pipe. My name's Martin, glad to have you. It's Let Her Rip Friday. We have gotten through another one of the 52s, one of the annual 52s. Is it annual 52s? I don't know. B52s? Anybody got some Love Shack to play? So we're at the end of the week. This is where I talk about things throughout my week that I've enjoyed in terms of what I've seen in the pipe community, and it's also where I also look up articles. I like to read a lot of articles. By the way, please get your news. Go to the Briar Report. It's gotten serious. He makes me nervous. Phil, love you, Phil. Hey, man. Anyways, go to the Briar Report. Get your pipe news. I get a lot of my pipe news from there. It's a great resource. One of the things on here today, if you can't see, Cannonball Run, baby. Cannonball Run, one of my favorites. 1 and 2, really. But we're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about an article that I also got off of the Briar Report talking about Peterson, Day of Peterson, or Peterson Day. Who knew there was such a thing? September 3rd, ingrained right there. And a couple articles about Native Americans. So I feel that out of all cultures out there, Native Americans are up there on the list of those who have probably been wronged severely. So I got a couple articles about that as well, which I found really kind of interesting. As you might well know, Native Americans have a very strong culture surrounding pipe tobacco and pipes. So that's just to me a very interesting cultural difference compared to just our pleasure and enjoyment of a pipe, and what the pipe and their religious beliefs really adhered to. And in terms for me, I feel that Native Americans were the true essential people that knew how to treat the land and knew how to live with the land instead of just taking from it. So very interesting stuff. But let's get started. So Cannonball Run. Old Burt. It hurts. Old Burt. Burt Reynolds has passed on. So our thoughts and prayers are with him and his family, even though hopefully he has passed on well. But it's always good to keep them in your thoughts and prayers. But Burt Reynolds has passed on. What a legacy. Here's the other thing. Fun fact, Burt Reynolds played football at Florida State. Yes. And yes, he also acted as a football player in what movie? What movie did Burt Reynolds act as a football player? That his character was a football player. I should have flipped that around. I should have named the movie and then asked what team he played for. Anyways, leave your response down the doobly-doo. I don't know what you'll get. Praise. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out what to do for a giveaway. So that was a big one. So big loss there. Some of the classics with him. I mean, he's got the stash. Always has the stash. And I feel that there's a widening gap between actors and actresses that are continuously lingering, that are significantly past their prime, but are very much lingering, and those struggling just to get in. Because I love a lot of these new actors and actresses. In fact, I actually prefer no-name actors and actresses over the ones that they have, on a continual basis. To me, I get tired of seeing Tom Cruise in action movies. I mean, that might tick some people off, but okay, I got it. At least James Bond's, they rotate him out. James Bond. That reminds me, I'm supposed to do a British accent. I mean, I could do it. Could I do a Sean Connery? He's Scottish. Diamonds are forever. Yes, the day is mine. God, what else did he say? Now that I'm thinking about it, I can't think of anything he says. What else did he say? He said, I don't know if anybody saw the Nicolas Cage movie called The Rock, where he escaped from Alcatraz, and Nicolas Cage was like, I'll try and do my best. And Sean Connery's like, your best. Your best. What did he say? It was so good. Oh yeah, losers do their best. Winners go home and the prom queen. Anyways, so there's a Scottish one. What can I do? I anytime I think of the British accent, I always think of my favorite comedian, Eddie Izzard, and who, if you don't know, he's a British transvestite, and is absolutely hilarious. Dressed to Kill was one of the funniest things. I remember because of course, he's got the typical, viewpoint about guns and things like that. And he was talking about, how like guns don't kill people. Apes with guns kill people. And he's like, well, yeah, we got these guns here. These guns. What do we do with these guns? Oh my God. And he talked about, he said, what would be, people are going to judge me for this. What would be more surprising than the 1st Battalion Transvestite Brigade, Airborne Wing, with a fantastic gun and fantastic makeup? What would be more surprising? You can see these guys, they're like, hey, look at these guys. Look at these guys. Oh God, they have guns. They have guns. Where are my guns? Oh my God. I was very surprised. Were you surprised? I was surprised. So that's more of my take on the British accent, or anything else gets very Australian-like or very Scottish-like, or it's. I remember when he was talking about words we say, he was like, yes, we have similar words, but we don't. Translation is lost. So, like for instance, you say caterpillar and we say caterpillar. And then he says, you say basil, we say basil. You say herbs and we say herbs, because there's a freaking H in it. It was so funny. He's just great. He's just wonderful. He's wonderful to watch. If you get a chance to ever see any of his stuff, do, because it's, oh man, he's so funny. I love it. Anyways, so there's some of the British accent for you. Sorry, I'm pretty sure it was awful. I mean, we can do some John Lennon, like, yeah, man, we would just be in the Beatles, and we would, Ringo and I we would just sit here and play for hours. I don't know why I get quiet. I don't know. Maybe it's I don't know. Who knows? Anyways, so all right. So beyond that, we have the Peterson System Day 120th anniversary as of September 3rd with the System Pipe, and some cool things about it. In fact, we will talk about a good example of this pipe. Here it is. So, and they actually have a flyer that talks about, the P-lip. The P-lip distributes flavor over entire palate instead of tongue tip, and eliminates hot spots caused by traditional mouthpieces. 2, the graduated bore drilled from 1.5 millimeters at the button to 5 millimeters at the tenon. Okay, so 1.5 millimeter at the button all the way to 5 millimeters at the tenon creates a cyclone action, preventing moisture from traveling up the mouthpiece, thereby creating drier smoke experience. Very cool. The push army mount means no loose tenon. Pipe can be broken down while hot and should be cleaned immediately after smoke. Yes, and I typically do that. This is what he is talking about, as you can see. And so we just good to go. The ferrule strengthens the mortise and ensures a snug tenon mortise fit. There you go. There is the and you can kind of see how that is worked around into the wood. So it's done very well. There is a reservoir down here. There is a reservoir down in this piece where it is actually going to trap the moisture in. I don't know if we can get a good angle of this to where you can see down in there. Almost down in there. Oh. So there is a reservoir. You can kind of see a lip of it right there. And you can kind of see there's a actual section that is drilled. Yep. So, but yeah, I'll line it up, ready to go. So the 120th anniversary, really cool article. Started by some German brothers when they had migrated over. Peterson came in and he was a carver and really took off the brand by being very innovative. And one of the things that I like about Peterson Pipes, and they talk about this in the article, is the innovation of this, and that there were multiple patents before he got this right. And then he even had other ones that he did, but so far probably this is the most significant one that was done and really revolutionized pipe smoking in many ways and allowed people to kind of think outside the box, which was really cool. So that was fun. So if you can check that out on the Briar Report, that's a really good one. I got an interesting article from the Catalyst, and this was interesting. It's called "New Policy Increases Inclusivity for Native American Students." And what it does is at the Colorado College, they wanted to put something in place for what's called smudging. Now, smudging is nuanced. It depends on which national or tribal affiliation someone belongs to. But in general, it is the use of particular elements like tobacco, cedar, sage, sweetgrass, and you light it, and that smoke comes out and is used for different practices. So this is very geared towards Native Americans and their use of smoking herbs and tobaccos and things of that nature. One of the things that I find interesting is that how strongly they adhere to that culture and smoking of herbs and particularly pipe smoking as well, especially with the different types of Native American pipes, which are amazing. I kind of attribute them to the first church wardens, to be honest, because they're extremely long stem pipes. So I find them very, very fascinating. Let's see if there was fire policies, blah 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 blah. So basically, it's trying to make an exception for them, which is really nice. I like to see things like that where we take that. It's one part. I am glad that we can come this far to work on an official policy that supports Indigenous students and our rights to our spiritual, religious, cultural, traditional, and ceremonial practices. It has been important for us to delineate from ceremonial smoke and tobacco use in general. This means Indigenous students are allowed to use tobacco if they are doing it in accordance with their religious practices. So, good for them. I find that, really fascinating, and I think those cultures need to be protected. Another one was the Native American longest walk history remembered in Washington and Greenbelt National Park. This was on September 7th, is when this article came out from the New American Journal. And it speaks to how in Washington, D.C., Greenbelt National Park, just north of the nation's capital, was the scene of historic gathering of Native Americans, Japanese Buddhists, monks, and Americans interested in bringing about an era of spiritual peace 40 years ago in the summer of 1978. And it talks all about the marches and the treaties that had went on, the participants, on how they traveled all the way from Alcatraz on the coast of San Francisco to the National Mall, which was 2,700 miles. Really, really cool. It was very cool how the Army and armed forces helped them out when they were putting up their, I say putting up their tents, but when, and they have some in Africa, but when they were making camp, that's what I'm trying to say. When they were making camp, the Army was able to give them a mess tent and everything so they could eat and get food. Really, really cool. One of the coolest parts is that they had a march, and it was headed by spiritual leader and Lakota Sioux Ernie Peters, carrying a sacred pipe packed with ceremonial tobacco. According to the Post, the procession finished up on the Washington Monument grounds, and it was peaceful. It was a peaceful march. Of course, they were concerned that there could be a possible situation where it could get a little out of hand, but it was a peaceful march, and glad to see that went through wonderfully. So kudos to them for that. Need to protect their rights and the treaties and everything that was put in place for them, because they deserve it, really. So let's protect those people. And today's the day. Oh, I don't know why I'm smelling it. It's not even open, but I'm so excited. I am almost done with the dungeon. It is almost back to normal. It's taken some repairs, and it still won't be all the way back. So today I will be doing my vapor blends. I will have to expedite a couple of them fairly quickly, so there won't be a first impressions of this. But what I'm going to try and do is work in first impressions on Mondays, and then on Fridays, on my Literate Fridays, actually smoke the pipe and finish off the actual review for the Literate Fridays. I know they run long, but you'll do fine. Today I will start smoking it in my Peterson 312 Rusticated, one of my favorites. It's a great pipe. This is my vapor pipe, or one of them. My 308 round, which, by the way, is great for those cigar lovers. I mean, gets you a good punch. It's really, really nice. I will be using my Zippo for that. And, I can't wait. So, thank you all for all of your support, and I hope everybody has a wonderful weekend. Go enjoy some football. Go enjoy some family time. Go and find a tobacco and stick that in your pipe, and we'll see you next time.